today it is Kingsley and I. How are you today, Kingsley?
Oh, marvellous.
So today, guys, we are talking about some money things, which is why we only have Kingsley here. So, Kings, do you want to kick off with your breaking news that you have to share with us?
The chief one, it's only a little thing, but it can be very, very annoying to people, is the tax office came up with a brilliant idea at the end of December to turn off one of their computer systems that handles the mailing out of not all of their bills, but a lot of them, particularly the instalment notices one. So the business people that are doing their quarterly pay-as-you-go bills that they get on their business profits, if you were getting a paper one, highly likely it hasn't showed up, and people just rely on that showing up in the mail to remind them to pay it and know how much to pay. And now, of course, people are getting something in the mail saying, "Why haven't you paid your bill?" So the tax office are copping a lot of heat over that, obviously. But it does mean if you're a businessman thinking, "Yeah, hang on, I haven't seen my bill," unfortunately, it probably doesn't mean you haven't got one. You probably do, and it's lurking in your MyGov or whatever. So you would need to. It'd be very wise to follow up and find out if you have got one and how much it is. Whether you look it up yourself or you ring up your accountant and get them to look it up for you. But unfortunately, that's what they've done. I'm hopeful that, given how much flack they've got over it, that they'll reverse that. They are very obsessed with sort of going paperless, but I think the other problem they're going to face is there's so many scams around ATO correspondence that we literally have clients that have got a genuine correspondence from the tax office, and they come into the office. They drive down here, they come into the office and say, "Kingsley, I got this, but can you go on the computer and check that it's real?" So I think they might find they have to send things paper forever, I suspect. But anyway.
Yeah, just to give that validation that it is real, because the ATO seems to be the biggest one for scams out there. And I will say I was actually one of those people. I knew from doing my tax return that I was going to get a bill, and then the other day I thought, "Oh, I haven't seen anything," and that was a couple of months ago. And lo and behold, logged into my MyGov ATO account, and there it was. Thankfully, it was very easy to pay though. So if you haven't looked, go and look. The pay options, there's a few different pay options actually in the back end of the ATO website that you can choose to do. You can set up payment plans in there, and you can actually manage your payment plan in the ATO website in the back end of your MyGov these days as well, which I thought was quite interesting. They did let me pay my credit card if I wanted to, with just a minor surcharge, as everybody likes to have a surcharge. So if you haven't got your assessment notice for the last financial year and you've done your return, please go and look, guys. We don't want you to get those nasty letters or phone calls saying you owe money.
Yeah, and as I think I said last week, you can see clearly in the volume of correspondence we're getting for our perennial late lodger, slow to pay type clients that they have changed their attitude since COVID. I think that end of JobKeeper they are seeing is officially saying COVID's not a problem anymore, so we can get tough on people. And the level of rude letters coming out last week, yeah, they definitely are.
Yeah, so keep an eye on that, guys. The other thing we wanted to talk about today in money is that we actually have an online masterclass next week with you, Kingsley, talking about the top 10 most important KPIs in your business. What sort of stuff are you going to tell us about?
So without falling in the trap of doing the presentation, but yes, what we'll be talking about will be the 10 most important KPIs, ratios, whatever you like to call them, that you should be looking at in your business, and the ones that your bank manager cares about, and those sorts of things, so that you know, if you're going for a loan, am I going to get the loan? Do I look good to the bank manager or not? Those sorts of things. And also just from your own point of view, a lot of small business people, if you said to them, "Do you have a good or a bad business?" they wouldn't actually know how to answer that question. With a really good businessman or business lady looking at your figures, say that you've got a good or a bad business, and they don't know the answer to that question. So this hopefully will give you the ability to to apply most of those sort of ratios and numbers and do it yourself to know how to do it. And the key thing I do remind people in the seminar too is people get a bit scared off when they hear that, but in the end, it is all primary school arithmetic. So you do not need to be, sort of, I was great at maths at school. No. If you manage to get through grade 7, you can do this stuff. So it's pretty simple in the final analysis, and we'll step you through it. And hopefully you can sort of have a crack at your own figures. I'll give you a few of the things to watch out for that can possibly make it a little bit tricky because of what tricky accountants do to make things look different for tax and so forth. But it's as I say, it's relatively straightforward, and it is the stuff that bank managers look at and taxman looks at and potential buyers of your business would look at and so forth.
Yeah, awesome. I'm excited for it, especially because it's an online masterclass. It means that people can actually look at stuff while they're on the masterclass and ask real life questions while we're doing it. And for anyone that does register for the workshop, you do receive a recording of it. So, if you can't make the whole thing, or 5:30 on Wednesday night, it's not the best time for you, it could be witching hour at your house, then, just feel free to register and we'll send you out a copy of the recording the following day. So, yeah. Have you got anything else today, Kingsley?
No, I think that's about it for me.
I haven't got much at all today. We had a meeting as BSW yesterday to start talking about the 2021 awards, which is very exciting, guys. So keep an eye on our socials and on our website, because we will have some more information coming up about those awards and how you can apply and have your business celebrated this year. So thanks so much for today, Kingsley, and we'll chat to you again next week.
Righto.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.